welcome to What's Cooking Kitchen. So today I'm making Ayamase. Some of you know it as Ofada stew and some call it designer stew. So I'm going to quickly show you guys how I make mine. I won't be giving you basic recipe measurement because your quantity might be different from what quantity I need or but just showing you how I cook mine. I think that will give you an idea of how you can cook yours. Okay, so I'm just going to quickly show you the recipe. This ayamase is going to be a little bit healthier than your normal one because I'm using an healthy proper choice of palm oil. Okay, so quickly I'll run through the ingredients for you. So right, I've got the palm oil like I told you before, and here I've got my green bell peppers, I've got my spring onions, I've got onions, I've got a bit of ginger there, just a little bit. You don't need a little bit, you don't need too much ginger because ginger can become quite strong when you add them to food. And I've got some tatashe, rodo, like some people call it scotch bonnet, but this is rodo, scotch bonnet, either one. Okay, and yeah, I've got mixed meat of beef, shaki and pomo. So quickly, and another thing I should tell you guys, when you blend your peppers, you don't want to add too much water because too much water means it's going to take longer to cook and you just sit there waiting and waiting and waiting. So I'm going to show you as I blend it how I use a little quantity of water. Okay, so I'll start blending. Oh sorry, and also I've got crayfish and Maggi and some iruye, not a lot because what is really going to bring out the taste of the soup is the crayfish, the spring onions and the ginger. That will be the main sweetness and the main sweetness of the soup. Basically I was going to use another word, but hey, it didn't click. So alright, so I'm just going to blend it quickly, add a little bit of water. It is important that you cut your bell peppers into little chunks because when it's too big it takes time to blend and that would also ruin your machine as well. So the noise is going to come on, so I would ask you to kindly close your ears for this one. Alright, so I need to put it on the If it does get like that where you start making noise, all you have to do is basically just get a small knife or a spoon or whatever and just lift it up a bit. Okay, I've taken out the top of my blender because that's where I'll be putting the peppers in. Okay, if it gets like that, don't worry, you don't need to add more water. Just keep stirring it there. It's just like that. When it gets to a point, it will kick in itself. You don't be tempted to add water and say, oh my God, it's gonna go bad. Okay, so we're still blending. We just let it keep blending. Then I'll add in the last batch of peppers. Okay, that's the last batch, so we'll just blend. Alright, and that's enough. Alright, so I'll pour that in as well into the pot like I did before. Pour that in. Okay, I've blended it with the littlest amount of water because you really do not need a lot of water. So I'll place that in the sink and give my hands, wash my hands. Right, so now we're going to place it on the fire. Alright, so that's it, and I'll just put that on. So we'll leave it here for about 30 minutes because we want it to turn into a paste-like texture. That simply means we want all the water in the pot dry out completely. So once that is dried out, I'll leave it on the fire, but keep checking up on it. That is going to take about probably 20 minutes for it to just dry out completely. So then I'll show you the next process. Okay, right, so guys, this is the paste. This is 15 minutes later and it's turning into paste. This is just how you want it, because if it gets any drier or goes any drier, then it's just going to be a complete paste. So we don't need that. Right, so I'm going to quickly show you how the palm oil looks like. It's your normal palm oil, but it's just more refined and just more healthier. So the palm oil, I'm just going to let it eat up a bit. So while that is eating up, we don't want it too much, just about enough. So I'm just going to let that eat up a bit. So while that is eating up, I'm going to peel out the Maggi. This is just for people who don't know how to peel Maggi, which I'm sure there's not a lot of people. There's no one who doesn't know how to peel Maggi. So I'm just saying. So I'll just peel that off and put that into. Right, so you wonder why am I not using salt? You don't really need salt. Salt is not extremely necessary when you cook your food. I think the Maggi does the trick for me every time. Each and every time it does the trick for me. I don't need salt. I've cut down a lot of my salt, unless if I'm cooking rice, potatoes, or yam. That's when you really see me using salt in my cooking. So I've just put that in and put in the crayfish as well as the iru. Put that in. Give it a good stir. The old stew is taking shape now. Let's go, and then we'll put the meat in. That's the meat gone in. Just mix it up. You can smell the crayfish, the ginger, the spring onions, everything coming together. You can just smell it. It smells absolutely wonderful. Extremely, extremely wonderful. Trust me, you want to give this a try. I'm just stirring because I don't want it to burn any more further than it's already burning at the bottom. At this point, what I'm going to do is taste for salt, for Maggi, just to make sure there's enough in there. So what I'm just going to do is taste, just dip that in. It needs a little bit more. So what I do is get another one. Because there's no salt, you can add Maggi as much as you want. But when I say as much as you want, don't overdo it by adding too many. And remember, because I've dropped some Maggi in there, I've stirred it and I've tasted it, so I realized that I needed more. But don't just keep adding without tasting, because when you do that, you ruin the whole soup. You end up with a very bad tasting soup that nobody can eat, not even yourself. So that I've added now, I believe is enough. So the next step is to add in the palm oil. This is going to be quite... Oh, baby. That's it. Another thing I do when I cook Ayamase is that I add panla to eat as well. I add dried egg to eat as well. And then I add smoked mackerel to eat as well. That's if I'm going all, when I say I'm going all out, I'm going really, really all out. I add that to my cooking as well. You see, like I told you, you don't need a lot of oil. Don't congest your heart with too much cholesterol or things like that. So that is good. I'll just wash and give you another taste again. Okay? That's perfect. So we're just going to leave that to let it sit for some few minutes, another 5 minutes, because you want all the ingredients to infuse into one another. So while you're cooking your soup, another thing you can be doing is cooking your rice on the side. So when it finishes, what you have to do next is plate and bang, 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 you eat your rice and you eat your food and you eat your stew. You understand? So try this new way, and also please remember to comment, like, subscribe. So guys, like I was saying before, you can what I do when I cook, sometimes when I cook my ayamase is put smoked mackerel, or I put mala inside, cooked one, and just dump it in. That adds another beautiful, elegant taste to your cooking. Very beautiful, exquisite taste that adds to your cooking as well. So that I've been stirring that for 5 minutes. So now it's time to just plate and show you what it looks like. Always plate your food in a nice cookware. Okay, always plate them nicely, because it just makes your food looks even more beautiful, more appetizing to whoever is about to consume it. Okay, so the cooker has been turned off. This is just raw cooking. This is not fancy cooking, just proper everyday cooking. Anyone can do it. Your sister can do it, your brother can do it, your cousin can do it, sort of cooking. Nothing fancy about this one, but the what is fancy, the cooking is not the fancy part, but where you want your main focus to be is the taste of your food. The taste, and the taste. So that's Ayamase, Ofada stew, designer stew as you would call it. Perfect with rice. Don't get misunderstood. Have it with bread, have it with yam, have it with potatoes, have it with eba, have it with anything you want to have it with. Don't just tie it to, because it's Ayamase, I will have to eat it with rice only. No, you can eat it with a lot of things. Okay, so thank you. Like I said again, kindly subscribe, like, recommend, join us on Facebook, What's Cooking, and subscribe, and we'll see you very soon. And thanks for watching. Bye.